Hello, good morning.
Morning.
My name is not Lily. Because seems that apparently two beautiful ladies come and say the name. My name is Raymond Siew, right? I'm a Singapore. Basically for those first timer. The reason why I'm here because I want to share my experience with you, and hopefully you can learn some tips. Right? And in Singapore, I'm the home tech trainer for Amway Singapore. Right? So of course, beside this spring, there will be a lot coming in, like the Sky, the atmosphere air purifier, the car air purifier already in Singapore, and soon will be in Philippines. And you're bigger, the market going to be get bigger and bigger, right? So you like the demo?
Yes.
You like Mary May presentation?
Yes.
That's very important, right? Mary May present the knowledge, because you need the knowledge to share. But sometimes knowledge is not good enough. Why? Because people like to see, people like to touch, people like to drink. So that's why demo is very important, right? Just now, Lily Acha, right? Beautiful name. Lily Acha, you know why she able to sell so many units of this spring? 50 over units, right? Because the way she talk, already people want to buy the spring. Because she's so excited. And not only that, she's so confident, right? She's so confident even drinking the filtered water, right? Of course, I will not drink water from this demo, I will drink water from this demo, right? Because this is an expired cartridge, right? When it's an expired cartridge, that means the performance already not up to the standard. And not only that, the UV light is not working. So you don't want to risk your health by drinking water from here. Right? So I would like to share with you important thing is, how many of you here would like to sell more eSpring? Right? You think 50 over units of eSpring is good?
Yes.
You think is it possible for you to sell more than that?
Yes.
We have a leader at the back sell more than 100 units of eSpring. Christine over there. Alright? So you see, the thing is, eSpring itself, 50,000 peso and 1.56 peso, which one is more expensive? Very silly question, isn't it? But it's the same. Why? Because this is 50,000, 1.56 is per liter, this is per unit. So when you share eSpring, don't share 50,000. Share 1.56 per liter. Right? Because a lot of them will have what? A freight. It's so expensive. So our Amway product is designed such a way that, in fact, in the market, there won't be any water purifier that can perform like our eSpring. Right? The activated carbon filter is produced by a machine which compresses all the carbon into one block. I believe in this world there may be only 2 machines in this world that can compress the fine carbon particles into a block. So you will find that outside water purifier, their compact is either very small or very thin, or the loose charcoal kind of particle. So it's a very high technology product. Right? Most important thing is, if you would like to build the eSpring market, especially in Philippines, it's only beginning. But you may one day think that, oh, 50 is a lot, 100 is a lot. In fact, you can sell by the 1,000. By the time as more and more people knows about our product. Can you imagine one day you have a group, right? Say you are selling 365 eSpring units. One day. It could be tomorrow, you never know, right? Because you can see your group, one person can expand to 10, 100, or even 1,000. So say example, your group have 365 units of water purifier, right? Every year you need to change, right? Every year you need to change. So if assuming that everyone in your group, every month you sell 360, every month you need to change a cartridge. So that means your regenerative business is always coming. Now we are talking about, we just started selling eSpring for how long already? Less than a year, 3 years? 10 years down the road, from 50, you may be at 500 in your group. From 100, you may have 1,000 in your group. So if you start sharing right now, in the future, the regenerative business is going to be, monthly, without even, taking your Nutrilite is already 12-15%. You think it's good?
Yes.
It's very good for the long term, right? So most important thing is, you need to understand that our eSpring is not too expensive. Of course, it's not too cheap. It's always what I think is affordable, right? And the technology itself and the quality itself is top notch. So for those people who really understand the value, they will choose our eSpring. That's for sure. So it's a matter of you sharing the value of our product. Amway products are designed such a way, right? And as far as this is concerned, rarely we have any problem with the eSpring water purifier. Right? Designed at least 10 years. How many products you look around in your house, home appliances can last more than 10 years? Or more than 5 years? Your TV warranty, the most only 3 years. Right? Your car after 5 years will have problem already. Most of the time, even the second and first generation Amway water purifier, more than 15 years, people are still using it. So our product built to last, like our Amway business. Right? So for a start, if assuming you are serious about building this business, of course, in business, if you think about building a business, do you think you need to invest?
Yes.
Right? Other business need to invest lots of money, right? You have a 1 billion peso market. How much do you think you want to invest in order to build this huge market? Right? So my suggestion is, if you are serious about building this home tech or even eSpring market, the minimum investment, how much do you think you need to invest? How much do you think you're willing to invest? 1,000 peso to sign up, and then use the voucher, buy product. Of course, you cannot buy the eSpring, right? Minimum, at least, you need to have what we call the demo kit, right? So how many types of demo kit do we have right now? We have one limousine over here. I call it limousine because, that's the top end, right? How many of you here have this limousine demo kit? Those are the leaders. You can see that those leaders already sell more than 50 eSpring already because of... Anyway, this is the first type of eSpring demo kit, right? If you can afford, of course, it's not too expensive, right? 2,000 over peso, right? If you cannot afford, right, then we have a second option, which is this. Right? Of course, there are pros and cons. The pros of this, the cons of this is your customer or your client can see the actual eSpring and how it works. Right? How about the con? Maybe you need a car, right? Because a lot of things to carry, right? And then you need extension plug and all. And you need to prepare your swimming trunk or swimming costume because one day it will become fountain. Because this thing can come out sometimes if you are not careful, right? So what happens if there's a blackout halfway through the demo? No electricity, pump not working. So you cannot continue with the demo, right? So another second option is this, simpler option, right? Of course, you need the cartridge, the used cartridge. I'm sure your upline can supply you with one because in Singapore we have a lot, we just throw it away, right? So if you have this, right, of course you also need the chlorine tester, the set. So if you don't have access to this demo chlorine tester, you can always check with your upline. Right? So there are basically three types. If you cannot afford this, then the minimum you must have is what? The chlorine tester, chlorine, even if you don't have coloring, it's still okay. If you have mineral tester, would be. So it comes in the set. It's not going to be very expensive. So you don't have to carry this around, or even, what basically you do is, bring this set, go to your client base or your downline base. Of course, you need to test the chlorine first. You must get water from their tap, not from your home sometimes, right? What happens if you use a cup, go to the tap, and you test the chlorine? And anybody have experience where the color doesn't change? Right? So what do? So my water at home is free of chlorine, so it's safe to drink. Then you agree, right? Or you just keep quiet, you don't know how to answer. So basically, if assuming that there are some places, right, when you check the tap water and the chlorine tester, there are two things, right? One is, really there is no chlorine. Second thing is, you never use a chlorine tester for a long, long time already. Maybe since 2015, 2-3 years back. And then only recently you decided that you want to do that. So the chlorine tester may be expired. Right? So let's assume that the chlorine tester is good. So if there's no chlorine, right? In Amway is don't panic. Right? There's a reason for everything. So one possibility I believe is, if there's no chlorine, means what? They never add in chlorine in the water tank. Right? Because water tank, normally our potable water or tap water, they will have to add chlorine. Why they want to add chlorine? To kill the virus and bacteria. It's a disinfectant. You can see just now the coloring disappear because it's a bleaching agent. No bacteria or virus can survive in that environment. So that's the reason why they put chlorine into the water, so that all the virus bacteria will be. The problem is, after killing the virus bacteria, the bleach or the chlorine is still in the water. Right? If those people who drink from tap water, what are they drinking? Chlorinated water, the chlorine. Right? So the chlorine may not harm you right now. Maybe 1 year, 2 years of accumulation of drinking chlorinated water. If your body is strong, your immune system is strong, maybe 5 years later, no problem. But if your immune system is not strong, 5 years later, 2 years later, you will find out that, hey, I have this problem, I have that problem, especially the ladies. Research have shown that chlorinated water, you drink it, a lot of, unfortunately, the females, they will have breast cancer. Because this is a toxin when it gets in the body. When toxin gets in the body, your body will have a reaction. Your body will try to detox, but they don't know where to put it. You don't know where. So they just put it anywhere they feel is convenient. Unfortunately, for the ladies, they put it around the area. Right? So some may have what? Colon cancer, some may have stomach cancer, whatever. So because of all this toxin that you consume. So most important thing is, you need at least a tester, right? If you can afford, you can have either one of this, right? So from there you have the demo kit already. So how you go about, doing the demo? You can go around the street and say, hey, can I do the demo for you? It is not how we share our eSpring, right? Basically, you will have a list of prospect of people you think that you think that they can afford, need everyone you know that you need. So the only thing is you have to go through the list of the people that you think that you want to do the demo. So when you want to do the demo, you have to make an appointment with them, right? So before you go on and do the demo, you have to do the testing at home first, before you go out. Right? One of the best way I always feel that maybe right now you approach a stranger, you want to do demo, may not be a very good idea. Why? Because they don't know you, and immediately you say, wow, you want to sell me a very high price. So the best way is what? If assuming that you are able to sponsor him into our Amway or her into our Amway business, using other products first. Right? Maybe they use skincare, maybe they use Nutrilite. Then from there, you can build her confidence. If they use Nutrilite or they use skincare product, definitely they would like to know about eSpring. Right or wrong? So, very important thing is, even right now, you already have a group already, right? So why Manglei always encourage you to bring your downline to the special training and all? Because when they come, they see themselves, then they have the confidence. Maybe even your downline is very against, the whole family against having a water purifier and all that kind of thing. I don't always believe in other things other than Amway or whatever. But if you manage to invite them here, they see for themselves. So they may even at that moment will not agree or want to use or want to buy the eSpring. But in their mind, they already saw what you are doing, or saw exactly what happened. So the minute they see it, it's always in their mind. One day, the timing is right. That suddenly strikes in their mind that, hey, maybe I don't need it. My parents need it. Right? Because you have seen how this demo works, how they filter out the purity. And then it may be one of the family member, hopefully, not hopefully, suddenly fall sick. And then the doctor suggested that, there are doctors who really suggested that you should drink clean water. I have downline who say, oh, you have liver problem, you should take care of the liver by what? Drinking clean water. So these are the things that when you go out and do demo, right? First, you must have the demo kit first. Of course, if you can afford it, product of the product. You use it yourself, you drink it, and use that as a demo kit. And that is the best way if you can afford one by yourself. Cannot afford, call it that, or even cannot afford, use this. Really cannot afford, then use it. If even this cannot afford, then, then you should stay at home. Right? Because we're talking about building a business. Right? Building a business doesn't mean that in Amway business you have to invest a lot. That's the minimum. 1,000-2,000 peso, I believe, very reasonable. But you're building a very big business, right? If you understand our market. Right? So from the least, you go and do demo. My recommendation has always been work with your experienced upline. Right? Even now you don't have a demo kit, it's still okay because your upline should have a demo. Like for instance, Tidi Acha, the downline, doesn't have anything yet. But he or she knows that certain of his friend or her relative are interested in the water purifier. So Lady Acha will work. Or even your upline is maybe say, oh, upline not Filipino, already in another country, not around. So what you should do, once a month you have this workshop, right? So invite them here. Then let them see what we do over here. So when they see what they do and then hear any question, we will, of course, any doubt we will try to clear for you. So that's the best way. You can do it yourself. Initially, you have no experience, go out and do demo and share. Of course, you will get a lot of rejection. Right? But in fact, to me is, if you don't get rejection, you are not doing Amway business. If your downline don't call you about eSpring, that means they are not doing eSpring. Basically, is when you go out, it's just like your coin, right? Head or tail. You do a demo, you flip. 50-50, the person may buy or may not buy. 50-50, the person may consider or not consider. At least you have 50%. If you are not doing the demo, right, I'll give you an example. right? If you don't do the demo, it's just like you don't have any demo kit, right? You approach even your downline or client and say, wow, our e-spring is very good, because salespeople are very good, right? You say, when I test the concrete, it turned yellow, I put it in, you explain. You think they will be easily convinced? It's just like the fishmonger in the market. They sell fish, right? And they come and try to sell you a fresh fish. They say, wow, the fish is very fresh. You take out the grills, red color, You think you're able to convince people buy fish like this? Right? People buy fish will go to the market, right? Take a look, and some even take out the grills and look, because I like to go to the wet market, And they see the grill, wow, red color means very fresh. Live fish means can jump, These are the things, that can attract them and convince them that they want to buy. The same thing over here. Right? If you don't do demo, it's very hard to convince them. So that means the more demo you do, the more chances that you have. Right? You'll be surprised as you do more demo, it could be 4, 1 want to buy. Right? Assuming that you only do demo, and then 2 doesn't want to buy. Does that mean that the business cannot be done? Because you are doing only 2 demo. But if every day you do demo, you try. 1 whole month, maybe you close at least 4 or 5 this spring. It's just a matter of how many times you do. Anyway, it's about sharing. The more you share, the better chances is for you. But before you share, of course, you need the knowledge. You need to know how the e-spring works. You don't have to know really in detail of how the EMS, electron monitoring system and all. But the basic one you need means what? The technology. The activated carbon filter, the UV light, right? How many microns? Able to convince them that, okay, as compared to X brand, what's the difference? So when you share with them, after sharing with them, if you can do a demo, you do a demo. Then you look for what? Buying signal. And that is very important. Especially when you have a potential downline or potential customer who are really interested. After doing the demo, if you can close, you have to close. Don't wait. But don't do force selling. Because it's a high ticket item. Right? When it's a high ticket item, nobody likes to be pushed. It's just like, it's a 50,000, they say you force someone to buy. So whether is it by installment or not, they may consider. But if they really show interest and they want to buy, then you have to close it. A lot of buying signal, maybe your upline will be able to detect if you yourself cannot detect. And most of the time, when you make an appointment with a downline, that means that person is interested already. It's a matter of whether the timing is right, that they want to make a decision whether they want to buy it. So if you keep on doing that, then your experience will tell you that, wow, this person, very high chances. And I believe that's how Lady Acha and Christine, they are able to sell so many e-spring. But initially, I believe they also try and error, get some experience before they go on. And then what they do, after they know, they pass it down to their downline, their experience. So in terms of e-spring, don't have the mental block that it's a high-ticket item, you are not able to sell it. You may not be able to afford it, but maybe your friends will be able to afford it. Maybe your friend may not be able to afford it, but the rich or afford the other relatives or their other relatives or friends may be able to afford it. So don't take things for granted. So long as you have the opportunity to do the demo, of course you have to do the screening, right? If a person literally can't even afford to buy Bio C or lecithin E already, so you say, oh, you expect them to buy e-spring? No, right? But if they are very positive, yes, you show it to them so that they will know, right? What kind of water purifier we have, the quality that we have, and then in their mind, because they are very positive, so they were able to identify people who wants to buy e-spring. Maybe they themselves cannot afford, they don't buy. But they can do the referral, or they can even sign up someone who wants to buy eSpring. So you have to, in your group, you have to screen up those people. In my group in Singapore, a lot of them, even there are two types of people. Of course, one type they don't buy, one type they buy. Even once they have the eSpring, there are two types also. One who don't want to change cartridge, one who want to change cartridge. Right? So those people who are very positive, I have downline who say, when is the next model coming up? And another one, my eSpring already 4-5 years already, I want to change it. Even is in working condition. So there are people like this. There are people, you put a gun in their head to buy, they also don't buy. Right? So, variation. So never to be too afraid. Don't take it for granted that they will not buy. Right? But you have to do a little bit of screening. Right? Okay? So I guess my gist of sharing eSpring has always been, you need to have a list of the people. Don't just blindly approach. It may not work, or it may work at times. Because we don't do door-to-door selling, isn't it? We have to make appointment. So you have to screen out the potential people who can afford. So once they're willing to allow you to do a demo, then you have to be prepared. The most important thing is you must be prepared all the time, because in this business, opportunity will come when you are not prepared sometimes. Then if you are not ready, you miss out. You miss out means what? Maybe your sideline or one of your friends here happen to approach them, because they are ready, they will close the deal, not you. Of course, they have not signed up yet. They sign up, then they cannot do anything about it. So you must be always ready. Ready means what? Get the demo ready, right? Demo kit ready, get your knowledge ready, and of course, if you have what? Things like this, always get this ready. Right? This little booklet is how much? 65 peso or 70 peso? Maybe 70 peso. 70 peso to build a $1 billion or a 1 billion peso market. Is it worth it? Definitely worth it. For your own knowledge as well as able to share. Right? So, very straightforward. Always get ready. Always be prepared. Opportunity will come, that if you stay positive, or whether it's a high ticket or low ticket item, we are able to close or you are able to sell. But eSpring, because you need to do demo. If not, if you talk about water purifier, so many in the market. What makes, how are you going to convince them that our eSpring is better than the Xpring? By just saying that, oh, our 0.2 micron may be not good enough. Like alkaline water, you can explain alkaline, goes into the stomach, become acidic. Right? And normally what I do is, when they say anything about Xpring, I say, I know, Xpring very good, I agree with you, but let me show you our eSpring. I just do the demo. I don't even want to answer them. I have customer or client initially, not interested, husband again, but wife interested, but not ready to buy it. I say, okay, never mind, your husband against is okay, let me do a demo. So I bring that one over there and I do it. And in my mind, because of the experience, I know that they're going to buy. I already stand by one new set in my car. I do the demo, I said, okay, the husband said, because your birthday, I buy the water purifier for you. I said, I'll go and install it for you. Where? In your kitchen. And fortunately, the kitchen, we are able to install straight away. Because there may be challenges that, wow, they want to buy, and then cannot fix. Then, so what are you going to do? Because as Amway leader, you have to solve their problem, not say, hey, you go and change the faucet. Very easy, that's your problem, And my job is to sell eSpring, your job is to change the faucet. No, you have to think a solution as make it easy for them. The PA not making it easy for me. Okay. Okay, so what basically you can do, if assuming that your downline or client interested, very interested, and your head over here cannot install. So what are you going to do? Basically, there are people who can make the adapter. You know, you can always ask. Maybe I don't know where over here I don't know in Thailand they are able to do that. If assuming the head is too big or too small, what you do is you use this two-threaded adapter. Two-threaded adapter, and then you check. You know, normally if the tab there's a cap. If our cannot fit, you use the cap. Take out the cap. Right? If they are really interested in installing the screen, use the cap. Go to a workshop. Then you know that can make all this. I used to do that for, you know, my downline, my client who, their tab is basically the size is different. So you need to do that as well. Unless you say, never mind, you don't buy, it's okay. You know, you buy from other people who can fix it for you. You know? So if you are not interested. But if you are interested, you have to find ways. Of course, you will face challenges as well. I have a case where I purposely go all the way to make it for her, right? And then because the workshop take a few days, after a few days, he said, no, I decided not to buy anymore. You know, because she has an old alkaline alkaline water generator. He said, I asked the service people to reactivate my, you know, alkaline water generator. That one cost me about $50. I had to keep it until somebody had the same kind of debt. So these are the things you have to fix. So you just laugh, never mind, next time. So don't worry about it. The opportunity will come. But you know their way out of that. So try to solve their problem, not let them solve their own problem. If your suggestion is there are a lot of people who have, you know, the faucet, they can pull out and then the shower. You know, the shower can, you know, they do it. Can we install our e-spring or not? And have you ever tried? I have one. Take out, I say, my goodness, how to install? Then I look at the head. Yeah, I can install. I have a way to install there, but it doesn't look very good though, because this one can pull out and then this thing is right there, right? Then you can pull out and then the kayak cover is together with the shower head. I think it's going to look very ugly. I said, never mind, because I cannot change a faucet because it's a condominium. It's a rented condominium. So rented condominium, the owner will not allow you to change anything that you like. So what you do is, I pull out the shower head. You know there's a cap there. You take out, and it's so shallow, right? You cannot basically use this to install. So you have to use two adapters. Two adapters. That means you have to do two adapters to extend it, and so that this thing can fix it. And then I just do it for them because anyway she wants it, right? So you have to solve the problem, right? Because it's not that straightforward. So from there you get the experience. Sometimes you cannot. Then you ask them, can you change the faucet? So when they change the faucet, even buying the faucet is also a challenge. Why? What happens if you buy a faucet also cannot fix the e-spring? So you're going to pay for the faucet. So you need to use the adapter, give it to them that when you buy the faucet, make sure that this one can fix the adapter. If not, you're going to face a lot of challenges. Sometimes it can be very easy, sometimes it can be very sweating, you know. Because if a person decides to buy, but they haven't paid yet, what are you going to do? Or even they pay already, you go to their house, you cannot install. So what are you going to do? The situation like this. But don't worry, if you have an outline with you, let the upline solve it. Because when you depend on the upline, you should treat your upline like God, you know. Any problem, you just push to the upline. The easy one, you do it. The difficult one, you push it to the upline. But the best way is your upline not to repeat it so hard. So that's a challenge. Wait for another month for that. Okay, so basically this is how we're going to share, right? Important thing is have the confidence. Have the confidence in the product, your knowledge, and the demo as well. Don't take things for granted. A little bit of things, especially you do the high ticket item. Everything has to be almost perfect. I won't say perfect, because the timing must be right. You make one mistake, you miss the point. So you must be always what? Prepared. Do the testing, make sure the mirror tester is testing. Just now we tried even before we come here, right? One of my downline bought a mirror, supposed to be distilled water. Use the tester, it cannot work. There are mineral in there. Distilled water but still have mineral in there for some reason. Then we bought another brand, then it works. So things like this can happen. So be prepared, especially the e-spring or anything. Make sure the pump is working, because it's so heavy and you carry all the way, the pump not working. So you have to move your mouth. Use your mouth to pump the water in there. Right? So everything, you know, if we are prepared, then it's alright. Okay? So I will basically open to the floor. But before I open to the floor, I just want to have emphasis on e-spring water designed for municipal water. I have a downline who asked me, oh, my area, the water comes from the mountain, very clean. You know, can I use the e-spring water? I say, can, unless you can guarantee that there's no contaminants along the way, from the mountain all the way to. Because this is basically for municipal water. Municipal water means it's already treated through the channel. You can use well water if you want to, but no guarantee that the effectiveness is there. River water, even flood water, we know that it works, but emergency case, they have no choice. Right? So if you just now, Lily Achal was mentioning, you can use Coke, right, to do testing. But after doing, because Coke is acidic, so you have to be careful about the cartridge. But my advice is don't use on the actual e-spring. Because acidic, it may affect the carbon filter. Once it affects the carbon filter, it may not, maybe even, the chlorine will leak. So you can use this for testing of this, but not actual, especially the unit. I also advise that if it's your home unit, don't use it for testing. Use a separate filter. The home filter, if you're assuming you have two filters, one filter is for your home for drinking, one is for testing. Okay. Because when you do a lot of testing, a lot of chlorine will go through. Because normal circumstances, you don't add in so much chlorine. Chlorine is very toxic. So you never know that long term will have effect on it. And then you can add in a lot of things in there. So it's, the coloring and everything. But under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have that in a water tank. So separate it up. The best way is for demo, use an expired. Or I always like to use when there's only one bar left. The one that you use should be full bar. And if there's only one bar left, use that for the demo. Alright, so e-spring design at least to last for 10 to 30 years. I would say at least 10 to 15 years. Tubing will last for at least 1 to 2 years, depending on whether it's exposed to the sunlight or heat or not. If you are near to the cooker, subject a lot of heat, then this thing may crack within maybe 6 months or less than a year. So you will have complaint coming back and you say, why I have to change this tubing all the time? So if assuming you don't want to change the tubing, what is another way? Cut until become mini skirt, cannot reach anymore. I've done like cut here, cut here, cut here, cut here, from 1.4 meter, less than a meter. So cannot go anymore, because cannot reach the faucet anymore. Forced to change. But anyway, it's not very healthy also. Because if you, in the filter mode, a lot of people switch it off, you will find that air will goes in there. When air goes in there, it can get contaminated. Then you know, this thing will goes in there. So basically, you should switch off to that mode and then switch off, so that the air will not goes in. Right? So, if assuming you don't want to change the tubing, I have another way why you don't need to change it. You know we have an auxiliary faucet, right?
Yeah.
The one that comes separately.
Yeah.
The one can come. That tubing can last at least 5 years. No need to change. That one is very high grade. You know, if those people who know, red color, blue color, and green color, there are three. That one can last for a long time. You don't need to change. And you don't need a higher power also, because it's the auxiliary faucet. Now you may install like this. In Singapore now, more and more of my downline are now switching to the auxiliary faucet. Because I recommend them say, hey, if you want, why don't you change your auxiliary faucet? First of all, it's separate from the tap. It looks better. You don't see the tubing, and the tubing can last a long time. So another way of preserving the tubing, right? You know what you should do? You can have a protection, another tubing, you know, a rubber tubing to go through, so that it will protect from the heat. But that can maybe last you another 6 months to a year, which I don't really recommend, because I want them to change 1.5, they should change already, even whether it's cracked or not.
It's only 300 pesos.
It's only 300 pesos, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we need to change it.
This one is the
That one is very expensive. How much is it?
9,990.
How much?
9,990.
9,000. You know how much in Singapore?
Very cheap.
Don't tell Amway it's only $100. So it's 3,000 something. One third. In Thailand even cheaper. Huh? I don't know why auxiliary is so expensive. That. But anyway, any question in regard to any problem or any challenges that you face? As far as the e-spring is concerned, as far as retailing is concerned, maybe I can take 3 because it's only 9 o'clock. Right? Anyone have any question? Yeah.
What if I didn't change the cartridge for 2 years, and it says that you have to replace the cartridge? What's happened to the water? That
2 years.
2 years.
Red light.
Yes, already says that you have to replace the cartridge.
Okay. This water purifier designed for 5,000 liters or 1 year, right? So regardless of whether is it 1 year or 6 months, once 5,000 liters, you will flash, replace cartridge. When the red light comes up telling you that UV light is not working already, right? Cartridge may or may not be working, or may not be as effective. Right? So normally is, if you want to take the risk, right? You can use a used cartridge and you boil the water, because it doesn't kill the virus bacteria. On the safe side, if they insist they don't want to change the cartridge, right? Because once it's red, it's just like telling you that, hey, this cartridge cannot use already. I say, no, I want to use. Then the disclaimer is there. Then I cannot guarantee you, you know, the quality of the water. You can see that even our expired cartridge can filter out chlorine. Right? It's still effective. Only thing that Amway cannot guarantee you the quality of the water. If one day, maybe now it's working, next day it's not working. How? You cannot bring Amway and say, hey, my cartridge is not working, because it is expired cartridge. The same thing over here. You don't change it for 2 years, I assume that the UV light is not working, so at least you have to boil the water. Whether can filter out contaminants or not is also a question mark. It's also a question mark. But yes.
It's okay. If your customer always don't change the filter, use 2 year or 3 year like this one very easy broken. Then you will spend a lot of money. You got it? 就是这个东西。
这很贵。
Okay.
It's very expensive. If you want to change it.
Okay. You know this one is a very important like brand in our experience. If you always don't change the filter, maybe you think about saying save money, but this one very easy broken. Then you need buy new one, but this one very expensive. Okay, this is only one idea I want to share to you.
Okay, good. This is what we call the.
This one very easy broken. Okay.
This electronic monitoring system. Amway Philippines, how many years warranty? 3 years or 2 years? No, if before extended warranty is how many years? The extended warranty I know is 5 years. If you don't buy extended warranty, how many years warranty? 2 years, right? Okay. So within 2 years, if anything wrong with that, So if you buy, for instance, 5 years warranty, right? And 2 years, you never change. The third year, something goes wrong. Like what Diamond Paul said. Then, basically, every guarantee, they will replace it for you. Because it's an extended warranty. So other than that, I guess that's the reason why I encourage you, when you share, always ask them to buy the extended warranty. So that means for 5 years, you don't have to worry. Anything goes wrong, and we will guarantee that you will replace. But rarely you have this problem unless, as you say, 2 years, you never. And if they don't use the cartridge, right? Because the red light will come up. The alarm will always annoying, isn't it? Can you live with this? Can you sleep with, then the kitchen, So what you want to do is switch off the power. Yeah, switch off the power, use the filter, boil the water. I don't recommend it. Anyway, you already pay 50,000. Then you want to drink low quality water. Right? Make no sense, isn't it?
Yes.
You should change the cartridge because you already invest 50,000. So what you want is clean water. Okay? David?
Do you recommend us to buy stock units of that when we go selling
Okay.
customers? Would you recommend that?
Okay. If you are a business person, I used to have my own business also. If you have a shop, for instance, how much you think you need to buy stock for your shop to even to do your business? Is it more than an eSpring? Okay, very easy. I have seen a lot of people when they go back to their province, they set up a mini shop, a grocery store or whatever, right? You think how much stock they buy in order to set up the shop, besides the rental? 100,000, 50,000? So what I'm trying to say is, if you can afford, right, like myself, because I used to have my own business, one, I use it myself. One, I always stand by a new one. Any of my downline who needs it right now, I can bring it to them. I can close the deal straight away. I even have 3, to be frank with you. One for my own use, one for demo, one for my own stock. So I'm not recommending you should do that. What I mean is, if you are serious about building the business. So of course, you may choose, my suggestion has always been, use it yourself first. Right? So if you want to use your set as a demo kit, you can use as a demo kit. Or you have this, you don't need to use your, so use this to demo. And then what happens if you do demo, your customer or your downline want it straight away. So what do you do? Of course they have to wait because you don't have the stock. So it's a matter of how you look at the business. But I'm not saying that you buy to stock up for good to get a PV. You get me now? I'm asking you that if you can afford it, you rent one by one, and then you really do the business, not not doing that. If you go and do it, then you know that anytime a person needs it, you have the stock to give it to them. Sometimes they may not want to come down to the Amway office. You still have to go and buy, right? So you still have to go and buy, and then you go and install for them. Or they come down themselves. So, depending on how you look at it. But not necessarily you must stock up one in order to do the business. What I meant was, if assuming you have a group already, right? Hey, Lady Acha, Christine. They have a big group already. There are already a lot of potential people who want to buy. Maybe they may consider to keep one in stock because they know that their group is big and their group is always doing demo out there. Right? You don't want to wait. If the person says, hey, I want to buy, straight away say, don't worry, I can install for you straight away. Right? So it depends on how you look at it. Whether you want to do it big or do it small. But doing big doesn't mean that you have to stock up a lot. Most of the leaders, I believe, after a while, they will have one in stock. Because we don't wait. We don't wait for people to say, oh, let me go to the shop and buy for you. Even air purifier, even the car purifier, we always have one in stock. That's the minimum we feel that the minimum investment we need to be there. But for new people, I would not suggest. For new people, I suggest you should buy and use it for yourself. And then buy a demo kit. Right? So depending on which one you want. Which one? Some people say, oh, can I have 2 demo kits like that? Of course you can. Sometimes you feel like you demo this, you use this. Sometimes you use that. So this is another way of... does that answer your question? We will not force you to buy. Your upline should not force you to buy, to keep up, to stand by one. So it depends. Just your own business. You decide what you want to do. You can only learn from your upline, how they do it. If you like the way your upline do it, you think it's logical, your upline also cannot force you to do what you do. And we are here to just guide you, to give you advice. If you want to listen, you listen. If you don't listen, nobody will force you. Right? Okay, any last question?
How about so we have to wait until the red light is coming, even if it's 5 years already.
No.
Because we are only 2 in the family, or we are small family.
Okay, good question. Do I have to wait until 5 years? You don't have to wait for 1 year, they give you the red sign. That means, whenever this filter, or the East Spring, filter 5,000 liters, it will give you a red light saying replace cartridge. If you use 5,000 liters within 3 months, it will give you a red light saying replace cartridge. Why? Whichever comes first. If you, 1 whole year, you only use 1,000 liters, the red light also comes out after 1 year. You got me? It means whichever comes first. If you have a small family, I can understand that you don't use a lot of water. Maybe 1 year you only use 2,000 liters.
That's my computation.
Your computation like this. But I believe my encouragement to you, if you only 2 people in the family, because this one can filter about 13 liters per day. So 2, maybe drink 2 liters, 4 liters, left with 9 liters. So what you do with the 9 liters? Wash your fruits and vegetables, wash your rice, use that to wash. I even wash your face, and then use that to take a bath or whatever. I have people who, you know, who wants filter for the bathroom anyway, right? So let me make it clear. 5,000 liters or 1 year, whichever comes first. Right? For small family, you may feel that, oh, I only have 2, should I buy e-spring or not? So depending on how you look, whether you need clean water or not, the value is there. Right? So if assuming that 2 person, you can use it for 1 year, because it's less than 5,000, it's still for 1 year. Is it worth it? Right? Then what you do, you should drink a lot of water. Instead of 2 liters, you do 5 liters of water a day. Now what I'm trying to say, the more water you drink, the better it is. Right? And then not only that, you can always share with your friend. Right? Invite your friend to your house, have a water party, you know. E-spring water party. Today, sorry, no alcohol, no Coke, no Sprite. Only e-spring water. Okay? I'm sure you can do that. You know, in that way, it's all...
Drink 15 liters a day.
Then you have to sleep in the toilet.
So is it happen that it can last for more than a year?
Rarely, because this, from my experience, is so accurate. Sometimes I downline 1 year, exactly 1 year. Many times, exactly 1 year, the red light comes up. Replace cartridge. And you should also, those people who like you have 50 units, how do you know which one expired? They call me, then I know. Your record, you should put the month and the year that they change your cartridge. Even the tubing. Because a lot of people will complain. After they change the cartridge, oh, my cartridge only 2 months. Why red light already? Then you check the record, it's more than a year. You know, to them, it's very fast. 1 year is like 3 months. Because when they need to pay, they think of, wow, I have another say, wow, only 2 months ago. Then I check, hey, 7 months already, you know. Then he not complain that replace. Wow, now left only 1 bar. Panic already say, wow, 1 bar only 3 months. Then I check record, already 7 months already. Because time really flies. Time don't wait for you. Time really flies. 1 bar is 1,250 liters. So 4 bar is 5,000 liters. One more question?
Is the up filter, pre-filter can have the lifespan of the cartridge?
No. In fact, pre-filter is to make sure that the cartridge will last for 1 year. If you don't, like in Thailand, funny, don't have pre-filter. When I bring back, right? How come they have to buy separately? Because why? Because if you don't have the pre-filter, that's why it's designed for municipal water. If you don't have the pre-filter, it won't happen. They clean the water tanks, and it's very dirty. So it may, I'm not saying it may shorten the lifespan of the filter. So when you see, like sometimes you see when you bring the used cartridge, inside is very white, very clean, just like brand new, but outside is brownish. And then your download say, oh, it's so very clean, so I don't need to change. He said, what you cannot see is inside. All the contaminants is inside the cartridge. You cannot see. Amway will not lie to you that they already filter out all that, because the things that you cannot see. So if they doubt you or whatever, then we have no choice. But believe me, Amway will not lie to you that, oh, is it still clean? Then I can reuse it again. You know, if they insist like that, but you cannot guarantee them that you get clean water, because the scientists and all, they really do the testing. Once it's wet, that means activated already. So if you don't use it, it's wet, it's already activated, means the organism, the microorganism are already in the cover tube. So our scientists already designed such a way that when it's wet, it can last for 1 year. Right? Every engineering product, believe me, when they invented something, there's always a lifespan. Agree or not? Right? You can say concrete, how long it will last? Maybe a few hundred years. Right? Steel, whatever, especially moving parts, they will know. They give you an estimate, okay, it can last for 3 years. That's why they need warranty. 5 years, if you're lucky, nothing happened. If you're lucky, 2 years, break down already. So if you design in such a way, they tell you, okay, 5,000 liters or 1 year. Amway, I believe, maybe will last longer. Only thing, the UV light, they want to make sure the UV light is effective. That's the reason why they have to give you this. Personally, I feel that even when this red light comes out, the UV light may be still effective. But we don't want to take the risk. We don't want to take. A very good example is the cartridge, right? Already expired, but how come it can filter out chlorine? Because Amway always design product that lasts than what is stated there. They say last 1 year, maybe last more than a year. But Amway cannot guarantee you 1 year and 3 months because it designed for 1 year, but may last longer, you never know. So they give you protein powder, 450 grams. It will give you 455, 460. Did you really go and weigh it or not? Anybody weigh your protein here? Protein powder? Anybody go back and weigh? Believe me, go and weigh it more than 450 grams. Sometimes even up to 460. You take out the canister after you. Anybody drink protein here in the first place? You know our protein powder?
Yes.
450 grams, right? Inside, not including the canister. You pour everything out, weigh the canister, and then put back the powder and see whether is it really 450 grams. Because it's supposed to give you 45 scoops. 1 scoop is 10 grams. The reason why I'm so confident is because I went to Guangzhou, the factory. You know, when they do the manufacturing with empty can, pour in the protein powder and they weigh. And then seal it. You know. Less than 450, red light comes up, reject. Sometimes I see 455, 460 go. Seeing is believing. That's why I say you need to see the demo. If not, you don't believe it. Your customer or your downline need to see it. If not, they don't believe it. You can talk a lot about how good the Amway is. They will not believe until they see it for themselves. Until they drink it, right? Then they know the taste. If they don't drink it, they say, wow, I really just not taste. Is this sweet or yeah, sweet. But you never taste it, how you know it's sweet? Right? Because Lady Acha drinks, she's always sweet. Because she's always very excited. Positive thinking. Even sour also becomes sweet. Right? You need to taste it yourself. Right?
Mindset.
Okay? One more? One last one.
But if the situation is like this, there's only one bar, and then the cup is red, the telephone sign is red, but the the water drops is blue.
Okay.
And then they unplug it, and then plug it again, and then when they open the faucet and close, they close na the water from the filtered spring, but it continues flowing.
2 things. When the telephone, there's a telephone, right? Red light comes out, you still have bar, that means not expired. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Telling you that they cannot detect your UV light. Okay? They cannot detect your UV light, that's why they give you a warning. Say, UV light, I cannot detect UV light. So I have to tell you, I have to call you to tell you. No, just kidding. I call you to tell you that UV light is not working. So 2 things can happen. 1, your cartridge holder. You know that one? Because cartridge holder, there is a sensor. If you take out and take a look, there's a glass sensor there. So the first thing you want to do is take out, clean the sensor inside, use our dish straw, and then pour hot water into the cartridge holder. The cartridge holder, right at the center, there's a hole. So the hot water will drip out. Make sure that you pour hot water and put it back, because why? Because there may be some mineral residue on the sensor. Then you cannot detect the UV light, because UV light inside. Put it back, try it again. If it works, okay, no problem. But after doing that, still have problem. Sometimes, very funny, right? You switch off the power and on the power, it works. Sometimes it comes back again. So that means there's something wrong with the cartridge. Bring this cartridge back to MOA and tell them about the problem. If really is the cartridge problem, after 6 months, as well as only after 9 months, MOA should replace it for you. A new one. Not under warranty. The cartridge itself, in fact, will last for 1 year. Even after 9 months, you have this problem, you're still able to bring it to MOA. Only thing is, depending on MOA want to calibrate for you. You know why? Because they will replace a new one for you, right? They can calibrate according to the number of liters that you have already used. That means if you use 4,000 liters, they can calibrate the new cartridge as used 4,000 liters. Or if they don't calibrate for you, you're lucky. They give you a new one. That means it starts from 0. You can filter another 4,000 liters. How they do that? Don't ask me, ask MOA. Because I was asking them, hey, how come you can do that? I say, yeah, we have ways to do it. But they never share the secret with me, so I cannot share it with you. Right? Bring it back to MOA. Do it yourself first, you don't want to waste your time. I tried it myself also because I have there was a period there's a batch, a lot of problem. We feedback to MOA, say, why, we have so much confidence in, we say production, one batch had problem, means the cartridge had problem. Red light comes out. This one send it to me, that one send it to me. Or one day I have 2 or 3 coming in, all have the same problem. So I have no choice. I said, okay, do this first, and then if cannot, let's bring it to MOA. If you are not staying too far away. Not then. If you stay in Singapore, don't come back here and change.
So in that situation, can we just replace the cartridge to a new one?
Your own cartridge or MA
because
cartridge?
The situation is
How?
we send
Only
the
one bar,
spring
right?
in Brunei.
Oh.
We send the spring in Brunei, so the problem is in Brunei. So can we send the cartridge in Brunei?
If it's your own cartridge or what?
The new one.
How about the used cartridge in Brunei, right?
Yes.
So have to send it back for MA to check first.
Okay.
So how do MA cannot trust you? Not really trust you, they have to make sure that the used cartridge it really is a defective cartridge. Right?
So we can do that, just change the cartridge.
You can change a new cartridge to solve the problem. Brunei also have MA. The only challenge, if assuming here you don't have this problem. In Singapore, a lot of foreigners that come to Singapore, they bring their e-spring and then they have problem. So MA Singapore charge them very expensive. Because we have problem with people bringing to Singapore and sell. So MA want to prevent this thing from happening. So they have local unit and foreign unit. Foreign unit, any problem, charge $350 in a month. Just for servicing. So, for you, just bring back the cartridge. Or if you don't ask them to buy a new cartridge, next time they bring back. Of course, they can use. All e-spring all over the world, all compatible. You can use and change. Right? If Manila, just bring it back to you. Right? Even cartridge you need to stand by, right? Because anytime people need cartridge. Tubing also you need to stand by. Right? Do you stand by your tubing? You have to stand by the tubing because tubing very important. If you want to give good service, right? Oh, your downline call up. My tubing broke. Now I cannot drink water. So hard. Oh, sorry, the MA closed already. Wait till tomorrow. Tonight how to drink water? Tubing very cheap, right? We said 300. Okay? Yes. All right? Thank you.